This is the final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media, and we will liberate America from these villains once and for all.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. In the year 2024, the news cycle is like the lifespan of a gnat. It just like, bam, it's gone, you know? And people forget. Something that happened like 2 weeks ago, people just forgot. They moved past it. Doesn't even make a dent. Everything is so quick. Everything is so fast. And everything is so censored that sometimes you really need to, like a dog biting a bone, you gotta like sink your teeth in and not let go of something. And it is something big that happened this week that I refuse to let go of, and that I will mention every single day up until the election, because there is a profound piece of information and evidence that was proven demonstrably, empirically true this week. And we've been saying it for a very long time. And we were right. We were right. We were right. The intelligence agencies colluded with the Biden campaign to rig the 2020 election. That is now beyond any questioning or anyone's criticism of that talking point. It is proven in a court of law, demonstrably and empirically. Now, what do I mean by that? And who are these blobs on the screen? Is like literally the blob. We call them the blob, the intelligence blob. These people literally are the blob. These are the 51 intel agents, disgraced traitors, who signed on to a letter that they knew was a lie to try and trick the American public into not looking at the Hunter Biden laptop, and to give the undergirding of our intelligence agencies via the FBI to go to social media companies and say, you need to censor this. This week, the federal government admitted in court that not only do they know that the laptop was real, they've had it since 2019, and that they have 18,000 pages of data and information that have been stripped from that laptop to potentially be used in further prosecutions of the Bidens. So the FBI were the people admitting this in the Hunter Biden gun trial in Wilmington, Delaware. And so the FBI knew this, while with one hand, and at the same time, with the other hand, were meddling with the social media companies to get the story banned. There's a lot of shady stuff that happened in 2020. And there's a lot of weird, grainy videos, and there's a lot of stuff that looks really untoward, that looks bad. But this is something that is provably true. When you say that the 2020 election was rigged, this is the story you can point to right now without any question or cause and say, here it is. Here it is. They are in our own federal government stopped us from learning true and real information and used the power and the weight of the federal government to rig an election, to stop information from coming out about one of the candidates and their families and their crimes. And we know their crimes are being prosecuted for their crimes right now. And these people are the ones who did it, okay? And so I just want to let you know how unbelievably corrupt these people are. I said that this image is whiter than a KKK rally. These are the face of the regime that pushes DEI and racial quotas on the rest of the country while lecturing us about white rage. Yeah, these people, they are traitors, and there is no other way to describe them. There's no other word to describe somebody who'd be willing to do that. And they've never been punished, and nobody has ever asked for them to be punished. And we think that's wrong. And so we're going to continue to push, ladies and gentlemen. They are scared, however, this little cadre, these little rats, they are very, very scared of Donald Trump. Andrew McCabe, the guy who was working behind the scenes to ensure that fake spy warrants got through so that they could spy on Donald Trump's campaign, to make sure that fraudulent hoaxes like Russiagate got pushed mainstream, just like the fraudulent hoax of the Russian disinformation Hunter Biden laptop. Andrew McCabe says that FBI and intel officials legitimately concerned that Trump will have them thrown in jail. Stop. I can only get so aroused. Stop it. Stop. Stop. Please. Please. Okay? I can't, I'm getting old. All right? You gotta warn me of these things. Okay? Thrown in jail and dismantle the DOJ and FBI. Oh my goodness gracious. Please, Andy. Stop whispering these sweet nothings into my ear. Andrew McCabe says employees of the FBI are worried about Trump jailing them and they're fleeing the country. Stop. Please. Okay, it's like the Tobey Maguire meme. I'm already voting for Trump. You don't have to convince me. It's been established that these people are traitors. It's been established that they're criminals. They're worried about a guy who's willing to hold them into account. Let's do that. All right. Here's Andrew McCabe mewling and whining and pissing himself live on CNN, saying he's going to flee the country, and all the corrupt intel agents, they'll all flee America if Trump's elected. There's no better reason to vote for Trump. Let's go.
It's great to have you here because just few people know the inner workings of the FBI better than you do, and you've also personally experienced the pressure from Donald Trump. And when you see him promising this wholesale takeover of the Justice Department, I wonder how you worry about what that would look like.
Yeah, Caitlin, I mean, I worry a lot about it. And I think it's, when you think about these things and you try to predict how Donald Trump is going to react or the steps he's going to take, you really don't have to go any further than listening to the things he says and does. I mean, his comments recently are offensive and horrendous, but they're not surprising in any way. He's been saying this for quite some time. I will be your retribution is his refrain to his supporters. So, you know him, you know what motivates him. He is not a person who's driven by principle or ideology. He is someone who's entirely transactional. And if he feels like he's been wronged in some way, then he focuses on revenge and vengeance. And so he's made it perfectly clear that that's what he's going to do. And in the process of seeking that, he is going to he runs the risk of really dismantling and greatly incapacitating the Department of Justice and the FBI. And that is something that Americans on both sides of the political aisle should be worried about. Yeah. We depend on those institutions to protect us.
Well, what do you think
and he is proposing to tear them down.
What do people inside the FBI think when they hear a comment like that?
It's terrifying. It's frightening. I have a lot of conversations with former colleagues, people who are or were in the intelligence and law enforcement community and may have worked in, the Obama administration, other places. And, people are really trying to assess, what is life going to be like if Donald Trump wins a second term? And on a very personal level, I mean, these are torturous discussions with their family members about whether or not they have to leave the country to avoid being unconstitutionally and illegally detained. I mean, people are actually worried about being thrown in jail or grabbed in some sort of extrajudicial detention. And I think, as crazy as this sounds in the United States of America, I think people should really consider that these are possibilities. Listen to what the man says. He typically does what he says, as crazy as it seems. And that's really all the indicators you need.
Man, that clip did the rounds. Former Deputy Director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, says his friends and intelligence community are considering fleeing the country, terrified of what Trump will do. Good. If they did something wrong, they should be terrified. It's terrifying. It's frightening. I have a lot of conversations with former colleagues who are and were in the intelligence community. People are really trying to assess what life's going to be like in Donald Trump's second term. These are torturous decisions with family members, whether they have to leave the country to avoid being unconstitutionally and illegally detained. Okay, so the quotables are pretty great here, but this is the most important thing. If police stop you on the road and you get a traffic stop, this happens all to pretty much every American. You get a traffic stop situation, and if the cop comes up to your car and you're profusely sweating, shaking, and trying to run away from the cop, you flee the cop. and you grab something out of your glove compartment and you run. This is the number one thing I'd advise you not to do, actually. What I'd advise you to do is to put your hands on the steering wheel and say, yes, sir, officer, right? Like, cooperate. Okay. They have body cams that, like, you got protected on one end. Put your hands on the steering wheel. Don't fight, resist, or anything like that. But if you did that, what that would prove to the police officer, given their training, is that you're guilty of something. You're trying to hide something. You have some paraphernalia or something illegal in your vehicle. That your behavior, your willingness and wantingness to flee, your nervousness would belie that you are a criminal of some sort, and that officer should be very, very wary and maybe investigate further. That is exactly what's happening here with Andrew McCabe. It's precisely what's going on here. They're acting like criminals. They know they're criminals. They're acting like criminals. Donald Trump has promised on day one that he would be a dictator. After that, I'm not a dictator. Ooh, this is going to scare him.
I want to go back to this one issue, though, because the media has been focused on this and attacking you. Under no circumstances. You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
what?
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border and I want to drill.
That's
drill,
not. That's not retribution. I'm gonna be. You know, he keeps. We love this guy. He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No. Other than day one, we're closing the border." And we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator. So that sounds to me like you're going back to the policies when you were president. All right,
exactly.
Take a break. Just getting.
Donald Trump has also promised that his revenge will be his success.
I don't care about the revenge thing. I know they usually use the word revenge. Will there be revenge? My revenge will be success.
And finally, Donald Trump has promised that he will be our retribution. These are fighting words. This is why Andy McCabe is pissing himself at night in his studio apartment before his MSNBC hits.
And if you put me back in the White House, their reign is over. Their reign will be over. And they know it. And America will be a free nation once again. We're not a free nation right now. We don't have free press. We don't have free anything. In 2016, I declared, I am your voice. Today I add, I am your warrior, I am your justice, and for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. I am your retribution. Not going to let this happen. Not going to let it happen. I will totally obliterate the deep state. I will fire.
And, you know, there is sort of a large breadth of people who are willing now to say, like, wait a second, our intelligence agencies, we have no more trust in these things. We've lost faith in these institutions. Spies Who Lie, 51 intelligence experts refuse to apologize for discrediting true Hunter Biden laptop story. Their arrogance, their inability to apologize or to say they were wrong. What's going on, Kramer? What's going on in there? It's retribution. That's bad. You know, we pay these people salaries. We provide them these like plush jobs and these cushy jobs. And they lie to us. They rig our elections. They are the threats to democracy by definition, right? When you lie to the American public. And years later, Andy McCabe's here, like, admitting that he lied on his FISA applications. Disgraced former deputy FBI director Andy McCabe admitted on CNN the FISA applications he authorized to spy on Trump were wrong. There were many mistakes in that FISA, he acknowledged. It was regrettable. Is it regrettable? Are you actually apologizing? Donald Trump, whilst still president, was saying nothing ever happened. Where's Comey? What happened to McCabe? What happened to Peter Strzok and Lisa Page? Like, what's going on with these people? They behaved illegally. They illegally attacked a sitting president. They violated their constitutional oaths. Where's the special counsel to look into these people? And this should be step number one. Step number one to fix the country is Donald Trump appoints a special counsel, and the criminal conspiracy to get Trump is finally officially and correctly investigated, along with a lot of firings. Ladies and gentlemen, best news I've heard all day. The crooked and corrupt, traitorous intelligence experts will be leaving the country if Donald Trump is elected. I will be crawling through broken, flaming glass to pull the lever for Donald Trump. And I encourage you to do so also. I also encourage you to pull the lever and like, share, and subscribe to this channel. See ya.